Cardi B just got humiliated in front of millions, and the craziest part. The man behind it was her own boyfriend, Stefon Diggs. While Cardi was allegedly inside the house holding their newborn baby, Stefon was outside playing picture-perfect dad at another woman's home, showing up smiling at his daughter's extravagant carnival birthday party like nothing was falling apart behind the scenes. And the timing? Absolutely reckless. This happened barely 2 days after Cardi was seen exploding on him in the middle of a Maryland parking lot, screaming with the kind of rage you only unleash when betrayal cuts deep. Stefon could not have picked a worse moment to test this woman publicly. Before we even dive deeper, subscribe because this story gets messier every second. Yeah, Stefon Diggs really did that. The Patriots receiver and Cardi B's man attended an over-the-top birthday celebration for little Peyton, the daughter he shares with another woman, Kay Benji. The entire event flooded Instagram all weekend long with polished family photos, expensive decorations, and smiling videos everywhere. But what made the internet stop wasn't the party. It was the fact that everybody immediately noticed the timeline was looking real suspicious. And trust me, once the evidence starts stacking up, the entire situation begins looking completely different. So let's break these receipts down carefully because every single one adds fuel to this fire. Receipt number 1. The infamous parking lot meltdown on May 13 in Burtonsville, Maryland. Outside a local gym and coffee spot, cameras caught Cardi B screaming directly at Stefon Diggs while he casually leaned against his luxury sports car with folded arms, almost like he was waiting for the hurricane to finish destroying everything around him. According to eyewitnesses speaking to TMZ, people nearby allegedly heard Cardi yelling words connected to another woman. And come on now, everybody knows exactly what that usually means. Women do not erupt like that in broad daylight unless something serious happened behind closed doors. Nobody believed this was about snacks or bad moods. When I first watched the footage, I replayed it multiple times because the tension in their body language felt darker than the audio itself. Then after the clip exploded online, Cardi jumped onto social media trying to laugh the situation away, writing, "Sometimes I forget I'm famous. Damn, y'all never cursed your baby daddy out when you were hungry." Hungry? Absolutely not. People get hungry every single day, and somehow avoid screaming at their man in random parking lots while cameras record everything. That explanation honestly made the internet even more suspicious because it sounded unbelievable from the second it landed. I literally stared at her response wondering if she expected people to seriously buy that story. Receipt number 2, the "I need therapy" caption that shook the entire internet. On April 29, fans noticed what they believe is Stefon Diggs' backup Instagram account, the page practically built around the idea that this man desperately needs therapy, suddenly post a caption so insane people thought it had to be satire. Stefon basically admitted that even though he talks to other women, he still considers himself a good man, then somehow crowned himself the best one if you ask me. And right there is where the internet collectively lost it. Multiple blogs, gossip pages, and online commentators immediately linked the post to a pattern they claim Stefon repeats every time pressure hits his relationships or career. No, seriously, who writes something like that publicly and thinks it sounds smooth? That is not confidence. That is damage control disguised as self-awareness. That caption felt less like a flex and more like somebody accidentally exposing the entire operating system. Then came receipt number 3, and this one changed everything. People magazine, not some random messy blog with stolen Wi-Fi and conspiracy threads, published an exclusive report quoting a source close to the situation, who allegedly revealed, Cardi stepped away from the chaos back in February because she no longer trusted him and believed things were happening behind her back. When I read that line, the entire story flipped upside down in my head because suddenly this wasn't looking like a dramatic celebrity breakup anymore. It looked like a woman trying to escape before the explosion got worse. The insider even added that things became too toxic and emotionally complicated. Translation: Cardi B did not simply fall out of love. She hit survival mode. Then receipt number 4 arrived, and this one almost felt staged for the cameras. On May 9th, Cardi appeared beside Stefon Diggs at his Diggs Day Mother's Day wellness event in Washington, D.C., where the two were photographed kissing, hugging, and acting completely locked in again. Billboard and entertainment outlets instantly framed the moment as proof they had reunited. But here's the problem. You cannot erase months of distrust with 4 days of smiling photo ops. That looked less like healing and more like somebody desperately trying to repair public perception before another scandal hit. Then came receipt number 5, the carnival footage that pushed the internet over the edge. Videos surfaced showing Stefon attending an elaborate carnival-themed birthday party for baby Peyton alongside Kay Benji, complete with custom signs, professional filming, coordinated family pictures, and enough social media coverage to make it feel like a celebrity rollout. The blogs instantly framed it as one big happy family moment. But hold on. Are people seriously ignoring the timing here? Less than 1 week after the infamous parking lot blow-up, this man casually walked into another woman's full-production birthday event smiling for cameras like nothing happened. That is not simple co-parenting anymore. That feels strategic. And once you lay the timeline out in order, the whole situation starts looking almost surgical. The "I need therapy" caption dropped April 29th. The Mother's Day reunion happened May 9th. The screaming match exploded May 13th. Then the carnival birthday clips surfaced immediately after. So inside a 21-day span, Stefon Diggs publicly defended entertaining multiple women, publicly kissed Cardi B again, publicly fought with her in broad daylight, then publicly attended another woman's child's birthday celebration. Bro, that is not bad luck. That is relationship self-destruction at Olympic levels. And here's the detail nobody can ignore. People magazine specifically claimed Cardi emotionally checked out back in February. Now remember what happened then. The New England Patriots season ended February 8th, and right after that fans noticed Cardi and Stefon quietly unfollowed each other online. Suddenly it stopped looking like random relationship drama, and started feeling like Cardi recognized the warning signs early and slowly backed away before whatever was happening privately became impossible to hide publicly. That is not heartbreak. That is strategic retreat. Now add the babies into this timeline, because this is where the internet really started spiraling. Cardi B had just welcomed her son with Stefon, while Peyton's birthday revealed another timeline overlap people immediately noticed online. Multiple TikTok creators and blogs began pointing out the children were conceived around the same period. Read that again carefully, because that single realization completely changed how people viewed this situation. Any smart celebrity would have moved silently through that birthday party appearance. But not Stefon. He wanted the photos, the headlines, the family optics, the perfect father narrative. He completely underestimated how closely the internet watches details now. And honestly, that carnival theme almost felt symbolic, because the entire thing turned into a circus overnight. What makes it crazier is that while People magazine was publishing stories claiming Stefon wanted to repair things with Cardi, he was allegedly preparing for a fully documented appearance at another woman's highly public family event. So which version is real? Because you cannot claim redemption while simultaneously creating fresh chaos. Now let's get into the deeper breakdown, because the birthday footage itself tells an even darker story. Watch the clips carefully, and one thing immediately stands out. Stefon Diggs kept noticeable distance from Kay Benji almost every second cameras were rolling. Every pose looked measured. Every movement felt calculated. It was like he was terrified one accidental frame might trigger another internet meltdown. People genuinely co-parenting do not move around each other like bomb technicians avoiding detonation. The distance itself became suspicious. In trying so hard to look controlled, he accidentally exposed how uncomfortable the entire situation really was. Then people revisited that April 29th caption again. The best one if you ask me. That line sounded even crazier after the timeline unfolded. Best compared to who exactly? Men who are loyal. Men who are honest. The standards were literally underground at that point. And when he implied money speaks louder than criticism, the message underneath became impossible to ignore. He was basically suggesting success should erase accountability. That is not romance. That is a financial smokescreen. If Stefon had any media instincts left, he would have realized the internet was going to screenshot that caption forever. Then came another observation spreading through comment sections. People started comparing the amount of public content surrounding Peyton's birthday versus allegedly much smaller celebrations posted for Kay Benji's older child only days before. I cannot verify every post personally, but the perception alone became damaging. Online audiences immediately concluded that the child connected to the famous athlete received the major content rollout. And once public opinion locks onto an idea like that, it spreads fast. Then there was the body language analysis, and honestly this part was brutal. Viral commentators pointed out how stiff and uncomfortable Stefon looked in nearly every clip. People joked about his appearance, but underneath the memes was a darker read. This looked like a man forcing himself through a public performance while privately managing emotional warfare behind the scenes. The smile looked rehearsed. The shoulders looked tense. The entire vibe screamed survival mode instead of happiness. That was not a relaxed father enjoying a birthday. That was a man bracing for the fallout he knew was coming once Cardi B saw the footage. Then the media coverage became its own battlefield. People magazine tried framing everything like a redemption arc, pushing the narrative that Stefon wanted to rebuild things and mature emotionally. Nice attempt, but those receipts tell a completely different story. Complex leaned more skeptical, focusing on the unresolved trust issues and suggesting the relationship was being patched together rather than truly healed. TMZ treated the parking lot explosion like celebrity gossip entertainment, obsessing over the yelling clip without unpacking the deeper timeline. They called it a bump in the road. A bump? That looked more like the relationship drove straight off a cliff. XXL played it safer, describing the romance as unstable without directly addressing how suspicious the birthday timing appeared. Then Billboard went full fairytale mode, celebrating the Mother's Day reunion while conveniently ignoring the chaos that exploded days later. Meanwhile, Stefon's defenders online keep insisting he should not be criticized for attending his daughter's birthday. And sure, being present for your child matters.